Morning, this is Jeff at Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 2933 Southwest 4th Avenue here in Portland. We're located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the home. We are just to the left of the garage door, right underneath the staircase that goes up to the front door. You got a 3-inch ABS clean out down here. That's going to be our point of access. There's actually two of them. The one that is furthest away from the garage is your sewer clean out. The one that's closer to the garage and the driveway area is your that's your storm system. Now water is running. We're going to zero out the foot counter here at the base of the clean out. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. We're checking the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Off we go here. And the line starts out by angling to shoot underneath, kind of crossing from right to left underneath the front staircase. So it's possible with that orientation we may end up lying in with the neighboring unit, which would not be unexpected or unusual for this type of house design. Alright, transitioning here to, looks like 3034 PVC. It's hard to tell if that was 6-inch pipe there or 4-inch. We'll get a better look on the way out when the line's drained. And this right here appears to be our main lateral. We sit very close to the street here, so I expect a very short line. Alright, we're going to do some locating here. While the line drains off, we'll pull back in and have a better look at things. And we'll also run the camera backwards too. Alright, located the camera head successfully. So the line kind of jaunts under the stairway here. It straightens out, and by the time I locate the camera head out on Southwest 4th and turn around and stare back at the house, I'm lined up with the front door. So it's a relatively straight running sewer line all said and done. That joint there is slightly out of whack. That's out in city territory to begin with, but the joint's sealed up there. That's just a visual blemish. And that's large enough there. That does indeed look like 6-inch pipe there. Yeah, so I can tell there's a little bit, we just don't get a view of it, and it looks like the pipe bumps out to 4-inch pipe right before we hit that transition right here. I can tell there is a pipe coming into the top of the sewer line right here. That's a very common location for a test Y to come in, or a test T, which is a diagnostic tool used when the line's first installed. Very similar to a clean out. Once the line is pressure tested and passed off, they just cap the thing off. But anyway, what we're going to do here really quick, now that the line looks like it's fully drained, I'm going to push back out here. I'm going to pour about a gallon or so of water down the line, down the actually the adjacent clean out. I'm going to park myself out in front of any Y connections here. It's about as far out as the last tie-in, just in the event it could be some kind of storm system connection. I'm dumping this water straight down the storm clean out right now. Okay, so that water is routing through that spot there, looks like. And that should drain off almost immediately. I'm going to do that one more time just for the sake of ensuring that's me. We should see that water drain off here in about 2 seconds. And then you're going to see another gush here in just a moment. Alright. The line's basically back down to just a little trickling. Looks like coming from behind the camera. We're going to do that same thing one more time here. Should see a big gush of water. Boom, there it goes. I'm just doing that to help, take the possibility of it being a neighboring line tying in. The likelihood that you had two flushes come through exactly when I'm calling them out would be very, very unlikely. I'm going to do it yet again one more time just to make sure that water is not coming from behind the camera anywhere. Yeah, it's all dumping in right there. You get a really poor view of it, but that's where it ties in right here. So, may not be a test Y, and or it could be a test Y that got utilized for the storm system. Alright, so I tried to park the camera as best I could just about right in front of this tie-in here. And I've done multiple different locates. I even had a car move just to ensure that wasn't throwing things off at all. And I'm picking the locate up just past the street edge. You can just barely catch a glimpse where that tie-in comes in here. So I put the camera right here, just like that, to try and get the antenna as close to that tie-in as possible. And I put a little green Y marking down in the street. So that's something I would run past the city and see if the line can have that configuration or not. I put a green Y marking out. It's just past the street edge into the roadway. From what I can tell, that Y appears to be in the street. We're not going backwards here. We're going to take this just till the line starts to go vertical, which looks like we're getting to that spot here pretty quick. Yeah, leveling back off. Very, very clean sewer line. People living here are doing a great job at keeping cooking oil and grease out of the pipe. Extraordinarily clean sewer. And this line's been here a long time. And that's a habit I highly recommend keeping up. After doing over 25,000 sewer scopes, this is where the line goes vertical here. Teeny little belly at the base of the drop here. It's, I mean, all of maybe a foot in length. Stuff like that. I honestly don't even like calling out. It's so minor and legitimizing that. That's a belly. For reference, I don't even consider repairs on bellies, generally speaking, until there's at least a 5-foot section of pipe with an inch of water in it. And these days, I'm only recommending repairs on the belly like that when it's very close proximity to the home, typically, or under the house. Most importantly, when you get a belly of that size or bigger in older rough pipe materials like concrete and cast iron, that coupling effect is not a great one. That belly there was about a foot long, foot and a half long, maybe holding a 1/16 to a 1/4 inch of standing water with a huge vertical drop prior to it. Something like that. You'd have to abuse this thing like you cannot believe for that to come into play, into flow. So anyhow, I would recommend checking with the city on the tie-in there. The storm system does appear to be connected. And I did put a marking down there just past the street edge. As for the sewer line itself, good flow all the way to the main, very clean line. All of it appears to be in good condition. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.